I'm not an artist, I'm not a filmmaker, I can't even draw stick figures consistently. But 90 days ago, I started an AI filmmaking channel anyway. I wanted to find out if others out there had an interest in learning something new and exciting right along with me. Here is exactly what has happened so far. Hello, everyone. My name is Steve. Welcome to Grandpa Does AI. So, let me jump into my analytics here and show you exactly where I stand at 90 days. So, I've got 204 subscribers so far. And if I go to my analytics tab and switch to lifetime of the channel, I've got 7,963 views and 641 watch hours, which, these numbers are not very big, obviously, and they're nowhere near any sort of monetization. So I wanted to give people that have either started a channel and feel like they're stuck, or give anybody that is thinking of starting an AI filmmaking for beginners type of channel or any other channel a realistic expectation, because there's nothing in my content history that goes viral and gives me an immediate monetization, as we see these videos on YouTube all the time, how they created a video and they were monetized in a week, etc. That may happen for a very small group of people, but for the rest of us it's going to take a while and it requires a lot of work. I genuinely had no real plan when I started my YouTube channel, other than I wanted to learn completely out in the open and show all my mistakes. No cherry picked results and outcomes. I had no idea how the YouTube algorithm worked or how to improve my chances of being seen. In fact, my first YouTube video is also the first video I had ever produced, and the first time I had ever done any video editing at all. I was completely new to the entire process, but I began anyway, and it was the right decision. I didn't want to overthink it and end up with analysis paralysis. When I started my channel, I fully embraced Mr. Beast's philosophy of that when you start out, your initial videos are just not going to be very good. So they're not going to get many views, but keep creating videos, keep improving something every time you make a video. And after 100 videos, your videos will be pretty good. I'm going to embrace that and see where it leads. So, although I'm not 100 videos in like Mr. Beast recommends, I am 17 videos into my YouTube adventure. So, let's take a look at what's worked so far and what clearly hasn't. And as you can tell, I do publish relatively regularly, on average every 5 days. Every now and then I have a gap like this. And this isn't due to a lack of attempting to publish. I actually had an issue with my video editing software and I had to redo the video. So I lost a week on that. Um, and real life happens. I still work full time, so things can interfere, right? Now, when you come down into looking at the videos themselves, let's take a look at the top performing videos based on views. And you can see it's my tool based videos where I am doing like a creative brief on Open Art Director that performed very well with 2,200 views. The Smart Shot videos did very, very well. Incidentally, what's interesting is I did a second Open Art Director video, and notice the Smart Shot videos that I did, they were back to back and they both performed well for a channel my size. My first Open Art Director video did very well, but my second Open Art Director didn't do very well at all, even though it's got a higher average duration of almost 40%. So people watch more of the video, but it just didn't get the traction the first one got. So that's very interesting. Another thing I find interesting is that the average view duration, at least for my content, tends to get into the 25 to 30% range pretty much across the board. I mean, you'll end up having, I have these little standouts every now and then, but for the most part, you can see I gravitate in that 25% area, which is interesting because I've changed the video formats multiple times too. And it doesn't seem to have that large of an impact on the average duration. I tend to end up in the same area anyway. Another thing that was very interesting is that when I ventured away from my creative briefs and tool based video content and tried to go into areas that would actually help people in their daily lives, I found that content wasn't well received at all. Like, I tried to show people how to use LLMs, like Gemini Pro or Claude, to analyze contracts or terms of service, and even quoted an example where I had a situation where it saved me a lot of money. But those are among the worst performing videos I've had. So clearly, that content isn't popular, and the audience and the YouTube algorithm, based on its ability to find an audience for that type of content, is telling me it's not worth making that type of content. When I was preparing to make this video, I was curious where my traffic is actually coming from. Where are my nearly 8,000 views coming from? And I was very surprised to see that most of them are coming from the YouTube homepage itself. So YouTube is giving real estate on people's homepages to my small channel's videos. And it's also giving real estate on the suggested video area to my small channel as well. So I'm very happy with how YouTube is handling the small channels. We have some breaking news. Did you know when the AI overlords take over, subscribers get spared? Non-subscribers go straight to the digital mine, sorting blurry crosswalks forever. Help me reach 1,000 subscribers and save yourself today. One of the things that I found that was very interesting when I was looking at my audience data is that over 90% of my viewers are first-time viewers, which makes sense. I've got a small channel and most people have never seen my content before. But what a tremendous opportunity to gain subscribers, because if I can find a way to appeal to this group of people that are obviously consuming my content, I should have a tremendous growth opportunity, because YouTube is clearly showing my content to people that have never seen it before. So it's up to me to find a way to appeal to those people so they decide to subscribe and want to see future content. But YouTube's certainly giving me the opportunity. When we go and we look at the overview, one of the things I really wanted to point out is that you hear about those situations, and I've seen this on other creator channels that give you updates as well, where you start out with no views, and then you'll have something happen where you'll get a spike in views. And in this case, it was my first smart shot video about the limitations and how to get around them. And so you get this little spike, and then it starts to come back down. But now your baseline is higher than it was before. You're not going back down to 5 or 10 views. Now you're in 50 views on average a day, or whatever the case may be. It's some number that's higher than it was before. And then that continued until I got to my first director video, which gave me a significant spike on my channel and then dropped back down. But now my baseline is 150 or so, maybe 100 on a bad day, whereas that was a good day before. So you can see there's a slow stair step approach where your baseline increases over time. So I've seen that talked about in other content creators' videos, and I'm witnessing it on my channel as well. So after my first 90 days on YouTube, these are the lessons I've learned so far. Lesson number 1, you really need to pick a lane when you start your channel, because YouTube has to find your audience. So the more consistent you can be with the audience you're trying to appeal to, the quicker YouTube is going to find your audience for you. For instance, on my channel, like I showed you on the content page, when I tried to use LLMs, which is still a component of AI, but it isn't video generation, YouTube had no idea how to find the audience for those videos. It was too different from my other content. Lesson learned number 2 is that the thumbnail and title really are the entire video. If the thumbnail and title doesn't appeal to viewers, nobody's going to see your video. And if your thumbnail and title mislead the viewers, then they're going to immediately click away because they will feel it's clickbait. So make sure that your thumbnail and your title matches what your video is about. And you should also include words that are actively being searched for in YouTube in your title and thumbnail, appropriate to what your video is about. Lesson learned number 3 is a reminder to myself, because I'm a perfectionist by nature. And what that can do is literally kill your productivity when you're creating videos for YouTube, because you're always going to think, oh, I need to make this part better. I need to make that better. And you'll end up chasing perfection. But the problem that we have, especially being new creators, is we wouldn't know perfection if we saw it. So we need to create a high quality product and then release it and then use the analytics that come in for the video that we put out and make adjustments based on actual data rather than what we believe is going to make it a perfect video, because you'll end up spending weeks trying to produce one video when you could have done it in a few days, and ultimately your total views on that video isn't going to be that much different. Lesson learned number 4 goes hand in hand with lesson learned number 2. Once somebody starts watching your video, if you haven't hooked them in the first 30 seconds, they will click away from your video and the rest of your video doesn't matter. They will never see it. Lesson learned number 5: setting realistic expectations avoids the disappointment that leads to people quitting. And that's why I'm embracing Mr. Beast's philosophy of until you've created 100 videos, you still have no idea what you're doing. That way, I can't be too disappointed when a video does poorly because it's supposed to. On the other hand, we also need to set realistic expectations on the amount of work involved in creating a quality video. I don't think people realize how many hours goes into creating a YouTube video. I certainly didn't. But keep in mind, I am a complete novice. When I started this, I had not done any of this work before at all. So I was learning everything as I did it. And just video editing could take me 20, 30, 40 hours for a single video. Now, granted, as I do it more, I'm getting quicker at it, but the amount of work that goes into it is still shocking. And although the workload is immense, the reward is also quite high too. It is rewarding, at least to me, when I get favorable comments about something that I did or what somebody liked. I enjoy that. So that's it. 90 days, 17 videos, 204 subscribers, more mistakes than I can count. And honestly, I can't wait to see what the next 90 days look like. If you're thinking about starting an AI filmmaking channel or any kind of channel, I hope this helped. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to start and keep going and be willing to learn in public. I hope you've enjoyed today's learning adventure, and I hope to see you around for the next one.